and welcome back to the Mindful Model Makers Workshop. You may have seen on the channel that I've completed this, and there is a couple of shorts of it running around, one before I got this far and one since I got the man on and things. I mean, obviously he needs painting, so I'll take him off there, and this comes because this obviously will tip right over one way or the other way when it's sitting in there properly. That's it. So it tips that way, back to the middle, and then it will tip the other way. Right, so I'll take that off for now. Anyway, you can see in a bit more detail what's there. This box here covers up the gearbox and motor, so you don't glue that in, you keep that. You have the switch there, that's the one that you flick and get your little blue light come on underneath on your Loco remote. So I'll flick it and you should see a little blue light. I don't know if you saw that or not. See whether the battery's gone flat, one or the other. Let's put that back again. That's that. Let's have a look, see if it is there. Yeah, it does work. Yeah, that's working. I just couldn't see it on the camera, but there, you may have seen it. Right, let's switch that back off. Bit of an awkward place actually for the switch, but there you are, it's in. Right, so there is a little fuel tank, there's a seat and the brake, because that's what is controlled. There are brake blocks on there. So if you can see that, there are brake blocks. So the bits you never see me make really was this frame, and it shows you to put the brake blocks on. Then there are slots for that to glue down in. So they don't actually move, they're just for show. Then there's this one here with the brake blocks on again. You can see them there. Then I don't think there was much else you didn't see really. Then the battery goes in, the connector is there, you can just fold the wires up round out of the way, because obviously when you take the battery out you have to pull it to disconnect it, but it goes in easy. And then you've got the drive belts that go on. So that's really it. There's not too much. So up on the top you've got these, there is a little bit that the chain fixes on, and it tells you in the instructions just to slant it forward a little bit, and then you can open the link, one of the links, slip it through the hole and tighten it back up with a pair of pliers, and then that is what will pull along. And then you've got these rubbing bars that are like buffers front and back. So this guard bit glues to the base. So all I did with that was I put a bit of super glue around, held it, got it level and flat, then I put some underneath on the brown and then glued it on top. So really that bit was quite easy. You have two brass kind of like wire, a kind of brass wire that goes into that, and you glue the little tops on, then super glue the whole thing in. The same with the seat. The brackets for the seat are already moulded onto this bit. The brake, again, a slightly thicker piece of brass, comes up through the top, goes down through the bottom, and then I just super glued that on. And that was it. And then these two bits glued in as well now. So that's it. The trickiest bit is putting these brake blocks on, getting them glued, and then just you've got to feed it through the actual drive band to get it on there. As you see, there is two shorts now. One before all this lot went on it, running around the track, and then secondly, when it was finished, I put it just roughly together and ran it round again, just for you to see. So this is just an update now. So now this is ready for painting. So that's what I will do. I will probably try and find some pictures of an original one, because I want to dirty it up a bit. The little railway that it was running round on, I bought that on eBay a couple of months ago now, I think it was on there. And it was such a quaint little thing. Somebody made a really nice baseboard for it. It's only an oval, then it's got a little traverser on it, and then you go off onto the straight. So I'm going to put grass, ballast and various bits on that little oval, and I'm going to turn that into just a little teeny kind of motive power depot where this would come back in and have a barrel there with the fuel in it, can top up various bits and then go off and do its work. And then I bought the pack that Loco Remote do of the track. It's got 2 points in several curves and several straights, and then from the traverser I will then build a bit of a layout off of that, and I'll probably leave that so that you can keep changing the layout, but just have that one central point. And then when you've put the layout bits away, I may change this by the way, when you put the layout bits away, you have a little board. You could just have it on your desk where you're working or something like that, as just you know. And if you're getting a bit stressed, or you're taking your 10-minute break off the computer, which you should every 10 minutes, well, not every 10 minutes, but every now and again, say every half hour, have 10 minutes kind of break, just because of your eyes and the concentration. Just had that run round for 5 minutes, just you know, as an anti-stress thing, really. Yeah, so that's what I kind of aim to do, but that's where we are on that. The man, it tells you on the Loco Remote the website to go to get this man, and obviously he needs to be seated because of but he does fit in there quite nicely. Bit of a jiggle around, but you can get him in there. And of course he sits with his kind of hand up there, because the only brakes you've got nothing that operates by your foot or anything like that. You just literally wind the brake blocks onto the wheels to slow it down. But these, bearing in mind, these were only very small Locos, and we would have that loaded, and it may have one, could have two wagons on, but possibly just one, and that's all it would do. It would work a very small quarry, very small site. That's all it would do. So these things are very small. Otherwise, if it was bigger, you'd have a big steam engine or a bigger diesel doing the work. But these represented lots of little kind of little quarries and things. If you go to places like Amberley and that, you see these kind of a box that's just full of batteries, and that's going along. You get lots there with little diesel engines, little petrol engines, and you know, they're very small, but they got a thing of their own. You know, I quite like watching them, just as much as I would watching a mainline Loco go flying through with about 12 passenger coaches on. You know, these things were workhorses, and that's really what it was all about. So anyway, again, this is an update on that. Next, I should start painting this, and I should be doing some work on the track, which I will show you as well. So that's the next project. Still working on other bits and pieces for the club as well. There is another video that you'll see on an update for the L Cup building that I'm doing, and I'm working on this as well. So usually have at least two projects going at once, so if one thing needs to dry, I can stop and get on with another one. But it's only a short video, but this, I forget what came to, 90 odd pound I think it was. Now that's got the Loco Remote, doesn't have the battery, but I bought the batteries anyway. All the instructions that you get on Loco Remote really tell you where you can get the batteries cheaply from, where you can get the man, and everything you need to do. It's full comprehensive instructions, and of course you can always email the guy, and he's very helpful if you need any help. You just email him, and he will either tell you where to get something or what to do or whatever. So I found him useful, because I'm also building a Gauge 1 Class 33 Crompton, which in one of my very early videos, I think there might be a couple where you see me doing lots of work on the bodywork. Well, now it's got the 2 bogies, it's got 4 motors in it, and he's just doing the Loco remote control for that. So you have 2 in there. So 2 motors are connected to 1 unit, and then of course I'm investigating a sound unit to go in it as well. So that will also be coming up a bit later in the year. So lots of things going on. I like this because it allows you, and especially if you've got children, you can put sweets in there and you can go around and you can tip that and unload them and things. So in other words, you can introduce them to railways using something like this, and you're not spend thousands. I mean, you wouldn't go out and buy a DCC Loco for 400 or 500 quid and then let your, say, 5-year-old son start playing with it and say, oh look dad, this bit fell off or whatever. With this, it's quite substantial and there's not really too much to fall off, and if it does, I think it's quite easy to repair. And I would imagine if you got a Loco remote, you could get spares for it as well, because obviously he prints the components. So there we are. Anyway, I will see you in the next video, and hopefully I'm going to do some research on this now to try and find out what colours and what it looked like in real life. Okay, and we'll start working on that, and I'll be working on the track that it's going to run on as well. So look out for the other video. I'll probably put it as a link on the end of here, the short, so that you can watch that, or something connected to it anyway. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. If you like, please subscribe, please like, comment if you want to comment, and do look up Loco Remote. I've got no connections with them financially, so I'm not getting paid. It's just that I like their stuff. And the other thing is, it works. So there we are. And it's relatively inexperienced. I mean, you've got a really nice Loco there. Use your phone for the controller, and you've got total control over it. You can play with it. So, and we all like playing trains, I think. So there we are. Anyway, see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye now.